for you about somebody that was supposed to keep something of yours private or secret, and you're about to realize, or maybe you just have, that this person has betrayed you and not been able to keep something secret. I don't know if they were looking to get like cool points, or if, you know, they just couldn't help themselves because they felt a loyalty to somebody else. But this secret is no longer secret. So let's call in spirit with a little bit of wind chime time. And I hope you're having a wonderful day so far. If you're interested in a personal reading, I would love to do one for you. My email address is wickedwandstarot@gmail.com, and it is in the description box. Just like the information on how to become a member. Thank you to the current members. Hello, Rachel. Hello, Key Controller. Hello, Famous Seamus. How are we doing? What should we start with? I think we'll go with the situations deck. Maybe we'll see the gossip card, since apparently someone feels like talking about another person's business. Oh, you're so welcome, Famous Seamus. I'll be keeping that future goal in my mind for you, because, I don't know, I'm sure the dog would want to see you too, you know? Well, let's see if that comes out. Wow, okay. So, about to reveal, right? Talking about a secret. Lockbox, closed in, trapped, frustrated. So this was something that previously you have kept pretty quiet. It's not something that you would just share casually, so not very many people know, or maybe only this person knows. And so this is something that would cause you anxiety if they were to tell a specific person, or just in general if this were to be something that they feel like is their business to share. What else? Entrapment, pregnancy, money, heartstrings, ascension, spiritual path, awakening, and drastic, extreme, harsh cutoff. So for someone, or for some of you, this is talking about your family dynamics and how you cut somebody off. For others of you, this is talking about your child or your relationship to your parent. But especially because we have this extreme, harsh cutoff, I feel like people are talking about your walking away from somebody, even though there's a sense of obligation here. But trying to make you sound like you're the problem. And maybe in trying to make you out to be the villain, they have decided that they're going to share a secret of yours to try to like make you look less trustworthy, right? Hello, James. How are you doing today? Hello, Lemonade. How are you doing? Yes, thank you for liking and subscribing. Yeah, this is what I'm picking up on. We have some sort of family connection here. So this could be a family member that's talking about you, sharing your secret. This could be someone who you consider to be a friend who is talking about something to do with your family and putting it in a negative light, probably unfairly. Talking about an experience that you've had in the past, or something that got out of hand in the past, and implying that that must be happening at this point as well. All right, let's get some more tarot. What do we want? We shall go with the graffiti tarot. Hello, Dwayne. How are you doing? What else do we have? The Fool. The Seven of Swords in the reverse. The King of Wands and Justice in the reverse. Yeah, so we have somebody who's trying to say something with the Seven of Swords in the reverse. They're saying something that is true, that you told them, but the context that they're sharing it, it's inappropriate. It's like trying to use something that you've worked on, or something that was previously a problem, and throwing that in your face, or using it to like defame you or malign you, because they want to make it seem like, oh, well, maybe this person is unreliable. Maybe this person is lying. Or maybe this person is, you know, unwell. It's malicious. Hello, Lee. How are you doing? Thank you for the tip. My attorney giving my ex-attorney agreement for settlement that my ex's attorney asked for. Do you think ex will agree upon it? Will the ex agree upon settlement? I've got that for you, Lee. Thank you. Hello, Being Fast. How's it going? Likewise. So Rachel, my interpretation of it at this point is that this is something that you shared in confidence with this person. Not a lot of people know, and they're using that information about you, probably from your, like a past version of yourself. This could be, for example, codependency related, and trying to imply that past experience or problem is probably influencing a current situation. So sharing something inappropriate that probably doesn't even apply, right? But trying to make it sound like whatever problem exists is because of that thing. Four of Swords, Nine of Cups in the reverse. Okay. So the King of Wands is the person who is telling the secret. The King of Wands is coming through as somebody who is selfish and also wants to impact your ability to get something that you want or to be seen as who you are. Four of Cups, Ace of Swords. The problem is they're asking people to reject what they can actually observe. So if they're trying to say that you're a bad parent, they've seen multiple examples or have been around you long enough to see that you're a great parent. If this is someone who's trying to say you have fallen back on old ways, there is plenty of evidence to the contrary. So they're trying to, like I said, kind of like almost like taking a puzzle piece that doesn't fit where someone's trying to make it fit, and use that as justification for their accusation or how they're trying to paint you. Hello, Godwin. How are you doing? Hello, Chris. I hope you're having a good day. Thank you. Yes, thank you for liking and subscribing. So we have the Wheel of Fortune, Ten of Cups in the reverse, the Tower, Three of Swords, Betrayal. This is like I did something that was bad to you and people are talking about it. So I have to misrepresent what was said or what actually happened because I want to change how people view the situation. And it's like for the Wheel of Fortune, it's coming through more as like time travel, right? If we go back to this disruptive time in this person's life with the Ten of Cups in the reverse, they didn't have a good living situation, or they didn't feel good about themselves, or they couldn't handle connecting with people, or they weren't able to have a healthy relationship with their siblings or their parents or their child. There's something here where it's like, I'm going to take that information, it's nobody's business, and I'm going to throw it out there and be like, and that's why I had to betray them, and that's why I had to report them, and that's why I had to blah, 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 right? I created this problem, or I started this fight, or, I took things too far, but it's because this person did this thing a long time ago. Hello, Poseidon. How are you doing? Yes. I don't know. I think it's a waste of time. Hello, Borns. How you doing? Hello, Timothy. How are you? Hello, Valinda. I agree, Zaz. So we've got the Hanged Man and the Nine of Pentacles in the reverse. So there's something here that you've been able to change in your life. We did have Ascension come out, and I feel like this has not been an easy climb for you. I do feel there was, for many of you, a sense of like, this is rock bottom, or I really have to change this, or here's where I am right now, and where I want to be seems very far away, but you have done the work, or you are doing the work. So for someone to throw in your face where you were at your lowest, when you are clearly making a lot of progress on what you need to do, is meant to undermine what you have accomplished and your honor, quite frankly. Try to make it seem like you are the same person is, I don't know, it just seems mean. So we have the Nine of Pentacles in the reverse, clarifying the Nine of Cups in the reverse, which is a card that can talk about codependency or a lack of independence. I had to borrow money, or I didn't have the ability to pay these bills, or my electric got shut off, whatever it is. There's been a lot of change here. You have taken control over things that previously were not under control. And someone is trying to tell the story about how you used to not have control to try to make it seem like you're the problem at this point. And I feel like that's not accurate at all. I'm not saying you've never done anything wrong in your life, or that you did everything perfect in the situation. It's just a manipulative use of what they know about you. Right? Hello, water therapy. How are you doing? That's a good way to put it. So we have the Anchor, number 35. This is what I'm seeing as far as your current energy. That ascension, it got you out of a very difficult place, a place where a lot of people would have remained stuck. You've made significant changes, and you deserve a high five for that, or like more than a high five. So don't let somebody mess with you like that. We have the Ship. Okay, so your movement or your progress is somehow a threat or intimidating to the person who is telling your secret. Maybe you've been able to change behaviors that they've struggled to work on. Maybe you're more successful with your finances, even though at a point in your past, this person was much more successful than you. They may really struggle with seeing the progress that you've made and the ascension that you've had, because they may be experiencing some of those troubles for themselves right now. Yeah. So we've got the Owls, which talks about communication, and it can be about gossip. But the person who is talking about you isn't talking about your current strengths, right? Your ability to overcome the problems that you faced in the past. It's more so, well, couldn't trust that person 5 years ago, so why would I trust them now? We have to have discernment and intuition and a pulse on reality to be able to realize that some people go from untrustworthy to trustworthy, and other people go from trustworthy to untrustworthy. If we don't have that discernment and that intuition, I feel like that means you're not able to accept additional information. So does that mean you only operate off your first impression of a person? This is a person who feels like wherever you were 5 years ago is who you are today, and that's just how it is, because that's more convenient for them than accepting that you've been able to make significant changes in your life that they have not been able to, or they have slid backwards from where they were several years ago. At the core, it seems like we've got someone who is a bit competitive with you or wants to make you feel small. Judge my past and you will become a part of the past. Well said, Matt. I hope you're having a good day. All right, so we have the Empress in the reverse, the Two of Swords in the reverse, and the Six of Pentacles in the reverse. So they're telling secrets or talking about things that you told them in confidence regarding a time where you were going through lack. You were not able to create the things that you needed to for yourself or earn the money that you needed for yourself, or you were stuck in a codependent relationship or using substances. There was definitely setbacks and it seemed insurmountable. And I feel like this person rather liked that they were looking down on you. They were kind of like, oh, you know, you can fix this, you can change this. And then they walked around the corner and then they were like, I'm better than you. Eight of Swords in the reverse and the King of Cups in the reverse. Two of Pentacles in the reverse and Justice. So the thing is, I do feel like you have someone who defends your name when this person feels like it's appropriate, and it's not, to share your information like this or your secret, your past. I do think that the way that others view them is pretty lame. Like, oh, you went there. We could call it like elephant in the room. We could talk about how it's probably going to go quiet and they're going to be like, oh, they're really enthralled. I should tell them more of my story. But really, these are people looking at this individual like, that's lacking in tact. Probably not okay. And also doesn't seem to align with what we know right now. Oh, thank you, Poseidon. I'm going to add that for you. I don't remember if you've been here before. Forgive me if I'm wrong on that, but I do start the personal questions at about 30 or 35 minutes in, and we're at just under 17 minutes, and you would be the second person, but I'm going to write that down for you. Where am I being too impatient or disorganized? In my long-term planning, and how can I ground myself? What a great question. Thank you. And where can I, or how can I ground myself? I love that. Okay. So, by the way, if I didn't mention it, this is the Morgan Greer. Hello, Vic. How are you doing? I hope the stomach improves. Okay, well, that sounds good, Poseidon. And thank you for checking out the channel and enjoying it. You're welcome. What else do we have? Five of Wands in the reverse. Six of Wands. Four of Swords. I think there's someone, it could be a Libra. I think there's somebody who cares about the truth, which is why they come through as Justice, who's like, now wait a second. I feel like you're not giving enough credit to the person that you're talking about and assuming that they've, you know, taken on some characteristics that haven't been who they are in a long time. My understanding is this person has healed from that. They've broken up with that person, or they've been sober for a while, or they, you know, changed their whole working and living situation. Like, I don't think that would likely influence anything right now. So I'm struggling to understand why you think that's appropriate to talk about. Like, hold up. We have the Lovers and the Hanged Man in the reverse. Interesting because the Hanged Man in the reverse is in the same column as the Hanged Man when it came out from the Graffiti Tarot. The Hanged Man is a card that talks about a change in perspective. You're literally hanging upside down, right? And when it's in the reverse, we can be looking at somebody who, even when you show them the evidence or the receipts, even when it's quite clear that you have truth on your side, this person would be like, no, I don't see what you're talking about. I can't hear you. What is that you're saying? They don't want to know the truth. This is somebody who is like willfully ignorant towards what your situation is now compared to what they're talking about, because it suits their situation, right? They want to make you look like the problem, so they're going to talk about you in a negative way. They don't want to look like they were the person who should have acted right, so they're going to try to make some sort of claim that your old behavior is probably what the problem is. Hello, Saeed. How are you doing? Hello, Charlebite. How are you doing? I'm sorry, Miss Jackson. I can't not hear that. Oh, I hope you get some protection on that, Vic. I'm sorry you're going through that. So we've got the Three of Wands in the reverse, the Three of Cups in the reverse, and the Hierophant in the reverse. Okay. So it feels to me like you're saying this negative stuff, King of Wands, because you're mad at the person for how they reacted to your treatment. And now you're wanting to put some random information into the conversation or the dialogue to influence how people see what really happened. I think this person gets called out, and I don't think it's necessarily by you, or it's in addition to your calling them out. Oh man, gosh, that sucks when people lie and then they get called out for it, doesn't it? This sucks so much. I don't know if I've got the answer for you on that one. Maybe the cards do, but I think sometimes people lose sight of what's real, I think is the easiest answer for that, or the shortest answer, I should say. All right, what else do we have? We have the Eight of Cups. All right, and just to like fair warning, you guys, I have not eaten lunch and my stomach may growl, and you are welcome to make fun of me if you would like to. We have the Eight of Cups with the Three of Swords in the reverse and the Star. The thing is, people know that you are not like that. Even if they didn't know like the details or how extreme a situation got, or you know how much you had to recover from, these are people who see that you have found a way to ground yourself, you have found a way to start over, or you have built a life for yourself that is admirable, even if they don't know just how bad it used to be. Five of Cups and Death. By contrast, this person who's been messing with you or talking about you, this is someone who feels like the things that once made them feel very proud or confident, now they don't have those things anymore. So I don't really have any other way to say this. I feel like I'm reading for somebody who used to be quite attractive, this King of Wands, and they're not anymore. Things that were maybe surface level, maybe they made a lot of money, now they don't make as much anymore. There's these things that they had to kind of prop up their ego or their confidence that they thought made them better than you. And as they try to make you look not so great, they also have to face the fact that they're a little bit jealous or they're a little bit frustrated. Hello, Paxton. How are you doing? Hello, Danny. Yeah, you know what? Sometimes people don't want to see that you've changed. It reminds them that they could have changed and they still haven't. But good for you, Ida. Hello, Nawaji. How are you doing? Hello, Dragon. Looks fade, money can burn, but hearts remain. I like that. So we have the Two of Wands in the reverse and the Nine of Cups. Even though you took a different path than others, you are still headed towards the Nine of Cups and the King of Pentacles. So your hard work is paying off. The things that seemed insurmountable or impossible for you to overcome, you've actually been making quite a lot of progress towards those things. Whether that's financial burdens or medical things, family obligations, romance. Like, you deserve a high five, like I said. Like, this person's over here trying to talk about how you don't know what you're doing, and they could learn a little bit from you, to be real. And they don't like that. This is the Voyage of the Soul. Since we have the Ascension card, I feel like it kind of makes sense to see what details we have about the progress that you've been able to make, because I do feel like that's influencing this situation. Oh, really? Okay. Did you see how that like bounced? We've got journey, road, planes, distance, movement, relocation, and visits. For many of you, this is suggesting that you were able to remove yourself from an environment, whether it was a working or a living situation or a relationship. You left. You moved on. It wasn't easy, but you changed your environment somehow. And especially if you have been working towards or sustaining sobriety, I'm proud of you. And I could see how having a different environment makes it a more achievable accomplishment, right? So we have communication, expression, voice, transmission, message, news, connection, and soul, infinite self, source, non-physical, karma, and Akashic records. So when somebody's trying to talk about you in a negative way and share something about you that is not their information to share, this dedication to working on yourself and improving your situation is what most people think about, and they find it difficult to align that to what this King of Wands is saying about you. Like, I got into an argument with my best friend a long time ago. And at one point we were like all of us, a group of friends, going to the local bar to play some cards, and we were standing outside in line, and you know, it took a while, but found a table or whatever. And then one of my other friends came in like maybe 20 minutes later, having been in that same line. And she's like, oh my gosh, it's so funny. There was some chick in front of me and I was talking about you, how I was meeting you here. And the chick was like, oh, Carmen, she's the devil's spawn. Because she was mad at me, like whatever. I mean, at least it was creative, right? It's a better than average insult, I'll give it to her. But this chick, God bless her, just like the sweetest thing ever. She's like, I don't know, doesn't care that this person's insulting me, or does, and is just like, are you talking about Carmen? Oh my God, I love her. She's so sweet. And I don't know if that's just like, you're brilliant because you're doing the like kind of innocent approach, like, oh, or if you're just, you know, that sweet. But I feel like that's what this is. Somebody here is like, oh, no, I know that person and they're amazing, or they work really hard. No, they're hilarious. Oh, no, they're super honest. They would never do that. And this King of Wands, it's like a deflated balloon. They're like, you ruined my story. Hello, Melissa. How are you doing? Hello, Suvik. What's up? I hope you're doing well. And let me write that down for you. Geek feelings for Suvik. Oops. And Sadarupa feelings for Suvik. I hope I said that right. For Suvik. Awesome. Thank you for the tip. Hello, Jay. How are you doing? Hello, Barbara. So I just pulled Wisdom and Unknown from this deck. This also says unlock gateways, key, training, knowledge, and soul power. And unknown, unfamiliar territory, void, obscure, wait, risk, and trial. So this could be because we have people who consider you to be like the new person in town. You could be adjusting to a new situation, even like a new job, right? But the thing is, you've already had quite the impact on people. I think there is wisdom and, I don't know, I want to say humility, integrity that people have observed, even if it has been just a short time. So whoever felt like they could share this information, I feel like they're not aware of how positive the other people look at you. There's something here about you feeling called to a particular path and people admiring you for your dedication to that. You may be artistic, maybe you're an excellent dancer, maybe you're a musician, maybe you're an author, but I do feel like you're reaching this point where you're going to be able to have a much richer life. It doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to win the lottery or have millions of dollars, but I feel like you're going to be well on your way or achieving this goal where you have what you need and you can take care of what you need as far as bills, but you also have the space or the time or the supplies, the chance to do something that is really nourishing for your soul. It could be as simple as, hey, I moved to the beach and now I get to walk along the beach every day and that's like peaceful for me. It could be, hey, I've finally been able to afford the supplies that I needed to be able to start painting, or I bought a guitar. Do those things because it really does help you as far as leveling up. And I feel like people see that that's been your focus. So yeah, well done. You've blocked your enemy from being able to really have much of an impact on you. Where are we at? We're at 30 minutes. All right, y'all. I'm going to jump into the personal questions. We've got Lee and then Poseidon and then Suvik up next. Well, Lee, Poseidon, and Suvik, but I meant up next because I'm talking about personal questions. Sorry, guys. I clearly need to eat some food. Oh, you're so welcome. Thank you. All right, so for Lee, we have, will the ex agree upon the settlement? No. 7 of Wands in the reverse. There's something here that makes your ex feel like he's got something to lose or something is at risk. 8 of Pentacles and the 9 of Cups in the reverse. There's some responsibility he doesn't want to have. Is this like driving or transportation? No. You have the 10 of Swords in the reverse and the Fool in the reverse. There could be some fear that there's going to be a discovery or something that you require that exposes that he's been doing things that he shouldn't. Could be substances, partying, who he's associating with, that kind of thing. So is he worried about people finding out what he's been up to? Yes. Lovers in the reverse and the Hanged Man. So there's going to be an issue with this that he claims is due to something and it has nothing to do with that. It's really because he doesn't want to have this much responsibility because it cuts into his party time, or, you know, that's the day that I can see that person and, you know, like naked time. I don't know. He doesn't want to be honest about what the reason is for not agreeing to something or being, you know, difficult about something. Page of Pentacles in the reverse and the High Priest or Hierophant in the reverse. I do feel like he has very little to negotiate. Will he eventually give in? He might eventually give in. I think he's going to create a big stink, and I think at some point there might be someone who tries to talk some sense into him, like, hey man, I don't think it's going to get any better than that. Like, you should probably just move forward with that. So could be that we have a mind being changed over time, but initially it's going to be like, no, I don't want to do this. This is ridiculous. Does he sound like that? I'm just curious. Good luck with that, Lee. Let's see what we've got for Poseidon, and I'm sorry if my stomach growls during your reading. Hey, James. I don't know who you're saying that to, but it seems kind of lame regardless. Thank you. I appreciate it, Rachel. And since we have a few James, well, it seems like a new James. All right. Hello, cool. How are you doing? We've got, where am I being too impatient or disorganized in my long-term planning? Fool, Two of Pentacles in the reverse. Lover, Star in the reverse. Justice in the reverse and the Four of Wands in the reverse. I feel like there is an avoidance of making some decisions. Maybe it's about I'm going to use an analogy, but it doesn't have to be specific to you. If I were to get a degree, I could get like a general degree, or I could specialize in something, right? And if I specialize in something that I'm passionate about, there's a chance that I could make more money, but it also means that I can't apply for these other things over here because it is specialized. Maybe that's true, maybe it's not. But I feel like we have this decision that has been avoided where you could probably be more specialized or more focused as far as one particular path, even though it might mean that you can't maybe as effectively cast as wide a net with regards to your purpose or your profession or your career. So if there's something that you feel is the right place for you, don't continue to pursue something that you know is not the right environment or not the right like department, right? World in the reverse. Because I feel like there is this opportunity that could be absolutely perfect for you, but you get distracted by something else. Page of Cups in the reverse. It's like either you don't even know about the opportunity because you're looking the other direction, or you feel like you have to take something else. So this is interesting because I so often say have a wider net when you're looking for a job or making choices regarding your career, but this is saying you need to like sharpen that decision point into like what you really want to do. Hello, Hope. How are you doing? Hello, 79. What's up? Hello, Nobody. What's up? Hey, John. Why do you make assumptions? I hope you have a great day anyways. Look, I feel like we have something with regards to a great opportunity for you financially or professionally, but it requires you to really zero in on what you want and what you're naturally good at. This other thing over here, the Lovers in the reverse, the Star in the reverse, the Four of Wands in the reverse, this feels to me about your love life. As far as long-term planning, there could be some maybe also a need for you to be a little bit more precise with what you want. Do you want, the house with a picket fence? Do you want the kids? Do you want a pool? Do you want to, retire in a different country with somebody? Do you want somebody who's religious or really close to their family? This is like, there's instability here because you may not recognize an opportunity when it comes to you. With regards to love, it may just be kind of overlooked as, oh yeah, that's nice, but like, I don't know if that's what I want. It's like, okay, so I have this habit when I go to a new place, I would rather like look at the menu beforehand and have a little bit of an idea of what I want to order instead of spending like 10 minutes in front of the menu like, maybe that, no. And have like a backup plan just in case they're out of something, right? This is saying like, check that menu, like figure out what you want. If this was dim sum, like you got to check off some boxes, let them know what you're ordering, write the little numbers on how many, whatever it is, because there is something really awesome that's going to happen for you romantically, but only if you can recognize, oh yeah, that's like legitimately what I've been hoping for. This could be somebody who's coming back around and they're healed, or this could be a new person. This is like, you risk not taking the action towards the love that you want because with the Queen of Swords in the reverse, you haven't really had that conversation as much as you should. Nope. How can Poseidon ground or get more grounded? Eight of Cups, Judgment. the Tower, Seven of Cups in the reverse. So this feels to me like sticking to your decision. And this could apply to a number of things, whether that's romance or, you know, your job choices or obligations pertaining to your family. There is a decision that you make or have made to walk away because this isn't it. This isn't what I want. And then there's some change in your perspective. It feels to me like, okay, that person kind of taught me that that's not my type, or that's not the type of relationship that I want. Or working for that person taught me that I would much rather be customer facing or not customer facing. This clarity is enabling you to make moves, but you have to acknowledge those moves and move more quickly. Take advantage of those opportunities. With the Ten of Swords, I do feel like there's a risk here that you miss out on it, but you have this ability to level up as the Empress. Doesn't matter what your gender is. This is saying that you would be able to create and like kind of build an empire. So you have a lot of, the way I'm seeing it is Lucy. I love Lucy when she has, when they go work for the confectioner and they have like the assembly line or like the conveyor belt of chocolates going through. There's gonna be a lot of chocolate sent your way and you gotta wrap them all, and you better do better than Lucy and Ethel because they did not do well. You can eat a couple here and there, but you know, their track record is pretty bad. So you're gonna have a lot of stuff headed your way, but you gotta be prepared and like on your toes, you know? Hello, Moon. How are you doing? Aw, I'm sorry you feel that way, politics. Is there a reason that garbage is in your name? Also, if you don't like something on YouTube, don't comment on it. You're just going to tell YouTube to send you more of it. And you don't really want to see me again, do you? I think we will go with the Marseille Cat Tarot. And Poseidon, I'm wishing you luck. I feel like you are capable of very amazing things, so do not get distracted. Okay, good. Uh-huh. Okay. Excellent. All right, so we've got Suvik up next. What are Geet's feelings for Suvik? What are Geet's current feelings for Suvik, please? We have the Two of Wands in the reverse, Knight of Cups in the reverse, and Justice, with the Four of Cups in the reverse. So I'm unhappy or frustrated, anxious perhaps, because I don't have a plan or I don't know what direction I should go. I know I need to make a choice, but I don't want to reject this person, or I don't want to reject anyone. So this looks like indecision, or at the very least inaction, even though this is like, you got to choose. Are you making a right-hand turn or a left-hand turn? I love how I pointed to the left when I said right. Was it at least right for you guys? Hello, James. How are you doing? We're at 43 minutes already, and we are in the personal questions. Yes. I'm aware. I don't know why they change it, but if I were to mess with that, it would probably cause more problems. Sorry, Peter. That being said, I do believe in your ability to learn how to read backwards, because I learned how to write backwards. Well, actually, I don't want to show that because I don't want you guys to see the wrong information about my channel. Initially, when I started doing these and they were backwards, I literally wrote out some things like backwards so that you guys could read them. Yeah, if I mix it back and forth like that, it's just going to cause issues, because when I take the thumbnail for the video, it's a different application, right? It's just the camera application, and then it would be backwards there. I don't want to deal with it. Yes, exactly. Hello, Supernatural. So, all right, Suvik with the Magician added on to these cards. I do feel like there is something coming up here for Suvik, or sorry, for Geet, that is going to make, it's like I have more confidence. Maybe I should actually do something about this. Right now, it's like this decision is weighing down on Geet. Knight of Pentacles in the reverse, or sorry, Page of Pentacles in the reverse. Yeah, it's like I'm hesitant to invest in anything or move forward with anything because I don't know if I'm going to regret it. So I'm just going to sit here and do nothing. What about Satarupa's feelings for Suvik, please? We have the Hanged Man and the Chariot. The King of Chalices. This seems to be somebody who has moved out of indecisive energy with that Hanged Man because there's something here that has changed their mind. It's like, okay, I feel like this is something that could be really real. I feel like I could have some feelings or some deep feelings for Suvik. So communication is important because if I keep this to myself, then I might end up getting like rejected or abandoned. So this feels to me like somebody who feels a sense of urgency to talk about emotions or at least understand more about where you're at and what you want. Yes, thank you for liking and subscribing. I do appreciate it. All right, y'all, I'm going to leave it there. I appreciate you. I will see you